Hi, I'm Andrea. I'm the senior designer here at Beadaholique. In today's video, I'm going to demonstrate how to do a square stitch. Hi, today I'm going to demonstrate how to do square stitch. And for the demonstration purposes, I'm going to use Miyuki 4mm cube beads in two different colors. And the reason I'm using the cube beads is I find it's easier to do square stitch with square beads. But you can use any size or shape seed bead you'd like. I also have a big eye needle, and it's exactly how it sounds. It's a needle where the eye runs the entire length, so it's easy to open up and thread, which I'm going to do right now. I've got some black Wildfire for contrast. I'm going to thread it through and pull it through just a little bit and give it a little tug, and that isn't going anywhere. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to thread on a stopper bead onto my black Wildfire. I want to use a contrasting color, so I'm going to pick a yellow bead. I'm going to thread it onto my end, and I will leave a tail as usual, anywhere from 6 to 8 inches. I'm going to take my needle and go back through the stopper bead. And there you have it. And now I'm going to thread on my first row. For the first row, I'm going to use these iridescent salmon color. And I'm going to thread on 5 beads. I'm going to move them all the way down to the stopper bead. This is my first row. Now I'm going to pick up the first bead of my second row, which is going to be one of these iridescent blue beads. Now I'm going to take the last salmon bead, I'm going to hold on to it. What I'm going to do is go through it, going the same direction, going back through that bead. And what happens, as you will see, is that the second row bead, the blue bead, sits right on top of that last salmon bead. Going in the same direction, I'm going to go through that blue bead one more time. So now I have my second from last salmon bead to work above. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to pick up a blue bead, going to go back through that last salmon bead, second to last salmon bead, I'm sorry. And then I'm going to go through that blue bead once more. I'm going to pull tight, keeping my tension tight the whole time. Move on to the third from last salmon bead and the third bead in your second row. I'm going to finish this row in this manner, and then I will show you how to turn your work around. So now that I have my entire second row complete, what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply flip my work over so I'm always working in the same direction. Now that I've done a blue row, I'm going to go back to the salmon color and do it exactly how I added on that second row. Each bead of the new row sits directly on top of a corresponding bead of the previous row. Here I've finished 3 rows, and I want to point out that it's important not so much with the square beads because you can't see the thread as much, but if you're working with rounded seed beads, you can see the thread in between each bead. So it's very important for this square stitch that you use a similar colored thread to your beads, or that you use a crystal clear thread. I'm just using black so you can see the thread path. So I finished a couple more rows so you can kind of get an idea of how it's going to look. Here's an example of a bracelet that I made incorporating square stitch with stringing. And there are several different sections that are square stitched, and I strung multiple rows through those segments. So as you can see, there are a lot of fun things that you can do with this stitch. So have fun with it, and thanks for watching.